Membrane. Don't need that membrane. Membrane is not against the grain. Get off the membrane. There it is. There's that membrane. All right.
Manja, manja, bon appetit. Let's eat. It's time for Tanks Cooks. Manja, manja, bon appetit. Let's eat. It's time for Tanks Cooks. It's time.
All right. We're back. And Michael Whaley had contacted me on Twitter, says he wants me to make ribs again. And I should bake them this time. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do with the recipe that he sent me. So let me open up this slab of ribs. Okay, let me open up this slab of ribs. What the hell? I mean, this has got to be the strongest plastic ever. Look at this. The knife won't cut. There we go, finally. All right, we got the slab of ribs open. Got some blood. Got to drain that blood out. All right, got to dry this in a second, but first we have to remove the membrane. I'm actually gonna cut this end off. This end doesn't look too good. So let's get this end cut off. Get this little cutting board out here. Nice little New Jersey cutting board. So let's cut off this end. This doesn't look good. Look at this. This doesn't, this is bruised, whatever. Looks like it's kind of like rank, so I'll chop off that end over there. Yeah. Rip, come on. Get a nice little knife. These Chef Tony knives, they don't cut like they used to. Alright, let's try this again. Come on. Will you cut? This would be a better cutting tool. Let's see if this works better. Come on. There you go. All right. Now we gotta cut off the membrane. Cut off this membrane. It might be insane to cut off the membrane. So let's cut off this membrane. And the membrane is right here. We gotta peel off the membrane. You know, zombies, that's their favorite part of this, is the membrane. They always go, membranes. Here it is. Let's go. Get off this membrane. Rip off the membrane. Take off the membrane. Rip off the membrane. It's insane to rip off the membrane. Ooh, there we go. Take off the membrane. There we go. It's peeling off quite nicely. Look at that. Look at that membrane. Bye-bye, membrane. Don't need that membrane. Membrane is not against the grain. Get off the membrane. There it is. There's that membrane. We got the membrane off the ribs. Yeah. We're gonna pat dry these ribs. Make sure they're nice and dry. Yes, indeed. Get this out of the way. Now we're gonna put in our dry spices. Now we got the oven preheated to 425. We got the oven preheated to 425, and now we're going to do our dry. And we're going to cook it for an hour on dry ingredients. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some the dry ingredients and pour it all over this. all over this. Da-da-da-dee. Get some accent, lots and lots of accent on the ribs. Then we'll put on some paprika. Paprika. Of course, we'll put on some garlic powder. Garlic powder, don't take an hour, it's garlic powder. Lemon pepper on our ribs. Lemon pepper, put it on the ribs. Then we got this specialty barbecue seasoning. Now we're really gonna shake this on. And shake this all around, like really put this on, like cover it really up. There it is, look at that. Now we'll drag it in, steam it in, squeeze it in, rub it in all around. There it is. All right, got that little nice little, there it is. All right, we're gonna guide our cooking with our nice little cooking probe. So we're going to stick this in. Alright, and we're going to stick it into the fattest part of the rib, which is right here between these ribs. Alright. Now we just... Now we put this into the oven. Like this. For about an hour at 425. We'll put it in the middle rack. There it is, right in the middle of the oven. Alexa, set a timer for 60 minutes. All right, we've been cooking for an hour. Ooh, look at that smoke. And now we go to our second part of our cook. We have to lower the temperature now to 325 and put on the barbecue. All right, so let's take this out of the oven. Right. Take out this meat probe. I think we've reached the heat we want to reach. Alright, so there we go. We're going to make this quite saucy. First we'll reduce the temperature of the oven to 325. So alright, so we're going to make this quite saucy. So let's throw on our barbecue sauce. La 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 la, barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce. We're going to make it saucy. And we're going to cook this an additional, it says an hour, but I think we'll do better with it 45 minutes. So I'm going to cook this an additional 45 minutes at 325 with the sauce on. Hopefully we don't char it up. Alright, so let's put this right back into the oven. Alexa, set a timer for 45 minutes. Alrighty, it's time to take it out of the oven. Let's see how these ribs look. It's going to take about 15 minutes of it resting before we can actually plate the meal, but let's see how they look. Ooh, ah, God, steam in the face. Look at that, my glasses are steamed. But here we go. Here's our ribs. Doesn't look like charred up. So we'll see how they came out. And 15 minutes, so. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. All right, let's see how these ribs came out. It's just about time to plate the meal. So let's get these ribs and put them up on a cutting board. Ooh, this is still hot. Shouldn't have changed that without the hotos. All right. Well, here we go. This is our ribs. Ribs. All right, now that our ribs are done, let's cut them up a little bit. Cut them into like little slabs for ribs. There we go. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Nice, tender. Look at that. Look at that. Remember how? Look at that. Like it's going through butter. Look at that. Ooh, wee. Look at that. Yes, indeed. And there's our ribs. Perfect. Right, here is our ribs. Cut off about 4 pieces so far. Of course, you know, if you want more, you can have more, but there we go. Because it's time to plate the meal. Time to plate the meal. Got a little plate with a little bit of potatoes on here. Time to plate the meal. Put it right on the plate. That the bone fell out the bone. Look at there's the bone. Time to plate the meal. Time to plate the meal. All right, let's get a little more barbecue sauce on here. Guess we liked it saucy. You know, it's the only. I guess this is the only thing it's acceptable for me is I do like barbecue sauce. Of course, you know I like my orange soda with ribs. And there we go, nice little rib. Terrific. Thank you, Michael Whaley, for the baked ribs recipe. If you want to send me a recipe, njtank99@gmail.com. And you never know when I'm going to cook what you send me. If I like it, I'll cook it. Eventually. So, manja, bon appetit. Let's eat.